Once upon a time in the heart of the prosperous African kingdom of Eldoria, a beautiful princess named Amani was born to Queen Adisa and King Django during a particularly vibrant spring. The kingdom celebrated her arrival with grand festivities, for it was clear that Amani was blessed with exceptional beauty, and an aura that captivated everyone around her. In Eldor, women were judged based on their purity. Even more than their beauty, it was a land where the virtues of chastity and modesty were held in the highest regard. Queen Adisa and King Gino had always preached about the importance of maintaining one's purity, until marriage, a value they hoped to instill in their beloved daughter Amani. As Amani grew, her allure became even more apparent. Her radiant smile and graceful demeanor enchanted the people of Eldor, and her parents were proud of their charms. Daughter, however, her birth was shadowed by jealousy. Her stepmother Queen Malia and Malia's daughter Zara, who was 3 years younger than Amani, harbored a deep-seated envy towards her. Queen Malia had once been a beautiful and ambitious woman herself. She became King Gino's second wife, because she wanted to have a comfortable life in the palace, surrounded by servants. 3 years after Amani's birth, Malia gave birth to her own daughter Zara. However, Zara did not possess the same captivating beauty or charm as Amani. While Amani was admired and adored by all, Zara was often overlooked. Queen Malia often watched Amani with narrowed eyes, her heart burning with resentment. Zara, feeling overshadowed by Amani's charm and beauty, began to share her mother's bitterness. As Amani's beauty blossomed, so did the jealousy in Malia's and Zara's hearts. One afternoon, when Zara was 15, she approached her mother with a scowl. "Mother, why must everyone always speak of Amani? Why must she always be the center of attention?" she complained. Queen Malia's eyes darkened. "My dear Zara, you deserve the attention and admiration she receives. It is not fair that she overshadows you." As days turned into months, Queen Malia's jealousy grew unbearable. She could no longer contain her envy, and decided to take drastic measures. One evening, she summoned Zara to her chambers. "Zara, I have decided to put an end to this," Malia said with a determined look in her eyes. "What do you mean, Mother?" Zara asked, her curiosity piqued. "We shall seek the help of a witch doctor," Malia replied. "Amani's beauty and aura must be tarnished. Since women in Eldoria are judged by their purity, we will make it so that she craves the attention of men. This way no worthy man will desire her." Together they made their way to the outskirts of Eldoria, where a notorious witch doctor named Baba Kaza resided. The old twisted trees and the eerie silence of the forest set the perfect backdrop for their sinister mission. Upon reaching Baba Kaza's hut, Queen Malia knocked on the door. The witch doctor, a frail old man with piercing eyes, opened the door and beckoned them inside. "What brings you here, Queen Malia?" Baba Kaza asked, his voice a raspy whisper. "I need your help," Malia said, her voice laced with desperation. "I want you to cast a spell on my stepdaughter, Princess Amani. Since she enjoys attention so much, make it so that she is unable to resist men. Let her continue to crave the attention of men and seek intimacy so much that she will never be satisfied." Babak Kaza's eyes gleamed with malicious delight. "Very well. The spell will take effect when she turns 18, as it is a very powerful spell," he said, gathering his ingredients, a combination of different very powerful aphrodisiacs. As he chanted incantations and mixed his potions, Zara watched with a mixture of fascination and apprehension. The spell was cast, and Baba Kaza assured them of its potency. "Remember," he warned, "the consequences of such a curse are severe. Be prepared for the chaos it might bring." Queen Malia and Zara nodded in approval, as they did not care of any consequences. They just wanted to strip Amani of her glory. Hence, they left the hut feeling a dark sense of satisfaction. As they returned to the palace, Malia placed a hand on Zara's shoulder. "Soon, my dear Amani will no longer overshadow you. Her beauty will become her curse," Malia said, a sinister smile spreading across her face. About a year after the encounter with the witch doctor, Queen Malia suddenly fell ill. Despite the best efforts of the royal physicians, she succumbed to her mysterious ailment, leaving Zara motherless in her final moments. Queen Malia clutched Zara's hand and whispered, "Remember what I told you, my dear. You are destined for greatness." Queen Adisa, a woman of immense compassion, took Zara in as her own. She showered Zara with as much love and care as she did Amani. Despite this, Zara's heart remained filled with jealousy and resentment. She was very much like her mother, harboring the same bitterness and envy towards Amani. Amani, who remained gracious and kind, continued to grow and blossom with unmatched beauty. Her gentle nature and warm smile endeared her to everyone in Eldor. The villagers adored her, and many suitors came from far and wide, hoping to win her hand in marriage. However, after her 18th birthday, everything changed. Amani discovered a frustrating truth about herself. She craved the attention and pleasure of men. It started with the palace guards whom she would lure to her chamber seeking intimacy, that never seemed to satisfy her after each encounter. She felt a hollow emptiness, and an insatiable desire for more. She would beg the gods not to tell anyone, fearing the shame it would bring upon her and her family. Despite numerous suitors trying to win her favor, she found herself unfulfilled both emotionally and physically. This secret tormented Amani, making her feel isolated and misunderstood. Her frustration was compounded by the fact that many of these men boasted about their supposed prowess, only to fail to meet her needs, as she would secretly go and meet them and tell them to have sex with her. The men who were unable to resist her beauty would succumb happily. This continued for a while without the kind and queen's knowledge, until Zara decided to intervene one evening. As Amani sat by her window, tears streaming down her face, Zara knocked and entered her chamber. "Aman, was what's wrong? You've been so distant lately," Zara said, feigning concern. Amani looked up, her eyes filled with sorrow. "Oh Zara, I don't know what's happening to me. I feel this uncontrollable need for men's attention. But no matter what I do, I'm never satisfied. It's tearing me apart inside. Please, don't tell anyone about this, as mother and father will be very disappointed." Zara's eyes gleamed with hidden malice, but she maintained her facade of concern. "I'm so sorry, Amani. You can always talk to me. Your secret is safe with me." Encouraged by Zara's apparent sympathy, Aman began to confide in her stepsister, sharing her deepest fears and frustrations. Zara, fully aware of Aman's predicament, saw an opportunity to undermine her stepsister. She often encouraged Amani to open up, learning of Amani's deep dissatisfaction and using it to fuel her own jealousy and hatred. As weeks turned into months, Zara's faint concern became a mask for her true intentions. She subtly spread rumors about Amani, making sure to plant seeds of doubt and mistrust within the palace walls. The once adored princess began to face whispers and sidelong glances from the servants and guards, as several guards had already had a taste of the precious Princess Amani situation. Worsened, the palace guards, once loyal and respectful, started to view her with a mixture of pity and contempt. Some even dared to make advances, believing her to be an easy target. Each encounter left Amani feeling more desolate, and she began to dread the nights when her uncontrollable urges took over. One night, as she lay in bed, Aman prayed fervently, "Please, whatever is happening to me, let it stop. I cannot bear this burden any longer." Meanwhile, Zara continued her deceitful ways, delighted by Aman's misery. She reveled in the fact that Aman's beauty had become her curse, just as her mother had intended. Zara's hatred festered, and she took every opportunity to subtly humiliate Amani, all the while maintaining the appearance of a concerned and caring stepsister. As Princess Aman's reputation for being insatiable spread throughout Eldoria, Zara seized the opportunity to exploit her stepsister's vulnerability. Further, she decided to use Amani's suitors as pawns in her scheme, convincing them to come clean and tell others about Aman's unruly behavior. She wanted the entire kingdom to know that Aman was not a virgin. And not only was she not a virgin, she was insatiable as well, knowing the kingdom valued chastity in women above all else. Zara's goal was to humiliate Amani and tarnish her reputation, ensuring no nobleman would dare pursue her seriously. One afternoon, Zara convened a secret meeting with several of Aman's former suitors. With a somber expression, she said, "I have heard troubling things about my sister Amani. As much as it pains me, I feel you should know the truth. She is not the pure and virtuous princess the villagers believe her to be." The men exchanged knowing glances. One of them, a young nobleman named Kofi, asked, "What are you saying, Zara?" Zara lowered her eyes, feigning sadness. "Princess Amani is insatiable. I know you all think she has been with only you, but that is not true. She craves the attention of all men and has been intimate with many. It's a shame. But the villagers deserve to know the truth." The rumors spread like wildfire, reaching every corner of the kingdom. Eldoria was abuzz with gossip about the princess who could not control her sexual desires. The wise whispers grew louder, and soon the news reached King Django and Queen Adisa. At first they were shocked and refused to believe such scandalous tales about their beloved daughter. The king and queen immediately summoned Amani to the throne room. As she entered, she could feel the tension in the air. King Gino's face was stern, and Queen Asa's eyes were filled with disappointment. King Gino began, his voice grave, "We have heard disturbing rumors about you. They claim you have been acting in ways unbecoming of a princess." Aman's heart sank. "Mother, I don't know what to say. Please, you must believe me. I have struggled with these shameful desires, but I never meant to bring shame upon our family." Queen Asa's voice was sharp. "Is it true that you have been intimate with men in the palace?" Tears welled up in Aman's eyes. "Yes, but it was not by choice. There is something wrong with me. I cannot control these urges. King Gino stood up, his face red with anger. You have disgraced us, Aman. How could you let this happen? We raised you to be pure and virtuous. This is unacceptable. Amani sobbed her shoulders, shaking with the weight of her guilt and shame. I'm so sorry. I never wanted this. Please believe me. Queen Ace's expression softened slightly, but her disappointment was evident. You are grounded to the palace walls, Amani. You will not leave this place until we decide what to do with you. As Amani was led away, Zara watched from the shadows, a satisfied smile playing on her lips. Her plan was working perfectly. With Aman disgraced and confined, Zara began to draw attention to herself. She emphasized her own more traditional beauty and demure demeanor, positioning herself as the more desirable sister. Whenever there were gatherings or events, Zara made sure to be present, exuding an air of grace and modesty. She would converse with the noblemen, charming them with her wit and elegance. Gradually, she began to attract the attention of wealthy and powerful suitors, overshadowing Amani once and for all in the palace. Aman's torment continued. Confined to her chambers, she felt more isolated and misunderstood than ever. Her frustration grew as she struggled to control the urges that plagued her. Despite the rumors, she longed for understanding and compassion, but found none. One night, Zara visited Aman in her chambers, feigning concern. She said, Aman, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry you are going through this. Amani looked at Zara with a mixture of anger and sadness. Do you really care, Zara? Or are you just here to revel in my misery? Zara placed a hand on her heart, pretending to be hurt. Aman, I truly care. I wish things could be different. Aman turned away, unable to hide her tears. I don't know what to do. I feel like a prisoner in my own body, and now in my own home. Zara's eyes gleamed with hidden triumph. You are not alone, Aman. Remember that, but you must find a way to control yourself or things will only get worse. As Zara left the room, Aman collapsed on her bed, her sobs echoing through the empty halls of the palace. She felt trapped in a nightmare with no end in sight, her once bright future now overshadowed by darkness and despair. Princess Aman, sad and disoriented by the rumors circulating about her, felt trapped within the palace walls. One evening, unable to bear her confinement any longer, she decided to sneak out disguised in a simpler cloak. She slipped past the guards and ventured into the quiet village of Eldor. As she wandered aimlessly, her quiet sobs caught the attention of a handsome and humble man named Kichai, who was returning from his farm. Kichai, noticing the distressed figure by the side of the road, approached her with concern. Are you all right? He asked gently, his eyes full of genuine worry. Aman, despite her sorrow, was struck by Kai's kind demeanor. Her uncontrolled desires surged, and she wanted to make advances at him. However, Kai gently refused, despite being captivated by her striking beauty. My mother always told me not to take advantage of any woman, Kichai explained, his voice steady. But kind Aman was taken aback by his words. You don't want to be with me? It's not that, Kai replied. I admire your poise and spirit, but it would be wrong to take advantage of your vulnerability. Moved by his integrity, Aman felt a spark of hope. The two quickly became friends, sharing stories and dreams under the moonlit sky. For the first time in months, Aman felt understood and accepted. Later that night, she returned to the palace feeling light and happy. The following day, the kingdom of Eldor was abuzz with excitement as the grand festival commenced. Wealthy and influential men from neighboring lands arrived, eager to partake in the celebrations. Among the guests was Prince Luca, a charming but arrogant young man known for his conquests, unaware of Princess Aman's exploits with men. Thanks to the king and queen's efforts to keep the news under wraps, the visitors admired Elor's hospitality and grandeur. Zara saw this as the perfect opportunity to further her scheme. She didn't want to marry a prince from another kingdom. Her ambition was to take the throne for herself. She knew she had to tarnish Aman's image to make everyone see how unworthy Amani was to be queen. With this intention, Zara approached Prince Luca. Prince Luca, she began sweetly, I have something you should know about Princess Amani. What is it, Zara? Luca asked, intrigued by her tone. Zara leaned in closer, her voice a conspiratorial whisper. Aman is no longer a virgin. She has been with many men and is completely insatiable. You deserve better than a run-through woman as your wife. The prince, shocked by Zara's revelation, discreetly asked a few trusted gods about the rumors. They reluctantly confirmed the gossip, having witnessed Aman's struggles firsthand. Appalled, Prince Luca withdrew his intention to marry Aman, owing not to associate with someone he deemed unworthy. That evening, Aman felt the weight of rejection crushing her spirit. The news of Prince Luca's withdrawal spread quickly, adding fuel to the already blazing rumors. Distraught, she sought comfort with her new friend Kichai under the tree where they had first met. Kichai, why does this keep happening to me? Amani cried, her tears falling freely. Kai gently took her hand, his eyes full of Empathy. Amani, you are more than the rumors about you. Those who know you will see your true worth. Don't let their ignorance define you. Amani leaned into his comforting presence, finding solace in his words for the first time. She felt a glimmer of hope that she could overcome her sex urge and reclaim her dignity. Meanwhile, Zara reveled in her success. She watched as Amani's reputation continued to crumble, confident that her path to the throne was becoming clearer. Her machinations were paying off, and she eagerly awaited the moment when Amani would be deemed entirely unfit for the crown. As the festival continued, Zara played the role of the gracious and modest sister, charming the guests with her traditional beauty and demure demeanor. She attracted the attention of several influential men, further solidifying her position as the more desirable sister. But beneath her composed exterior, Zara's hatred for Amani simmered. She knew she had to be patient, biding her time, until the kingdom saw Amani for what she wanted them to see her. Despite the turmoil, Amani found strength in her friendship with Kitche. Their bond grew stronger each day, with Kitche offering unwavering support and understanding. Together they shared dreams of a future free from the constraint of societal expectations. One evening, as they sat under the stars, Kitche said softly, "Amani, you have a light within you that rumor can extinguish. Hold on to that light, and you will find your way." Amani smiled through her tears, feeling a renewed sense of determination. "Thank you, Kitche. With you by my side, I believe I can overcome anything." She felt a surge of inner peace. A few weeks later, the kingdom of Eldor was shrouded in mourning as King Gino passed away on his deathbed. He called his beloved wife Queen Adisa to his side. "Adisa," he whispered, his voice frail, "our daughter Amani has a light within her that the world has yet to see. Help her as much as you can. She is destined for greatness despite the darkness that surrounds her." With these final words, King Gino handed the throne to Queen Adisa, entrusting her with the kingdom's future and his children's well-being. As the new ruler of Eldor, Queen Adisa faced immense pressure, but she remained steadfast in her commitment to honor her late husband's wishes. Despite the increasing rumors and Zara's manipulations, Amani tried her best to restrain herself, all to no avail. She would find herself in bed with one of the palace guards in no time. The only person she could be normal with was only Kai, her new friend and confidant, although being with Kai made her happy for those moments they were together. She knew it wasn't a lasting solution, and this saddened her greatly. Queen Adisa, noticing her daughter's distress, encouraged Amani to find solace in her own strengths and not be swayed by the opinions of others. One evening, in a moment of vulnerability, Amani shared her struggles with her mother, expressing her deep frustration and feelings of inadequacy. "Mother, I feel so lost," Amani confided, her eyes welling up with tears. "No matter what I do, I can't stop wanting to sleep with men. This haunt me, and I feel like I can never be free." Queen Adisa took her daughter's hands in hers. "Amani, you are stronger than you realize. What matters is the purity of your heart and your intentions." Amani nodded, wiping away her tears. "There is one person who makes me feel at peace, Mother. His name is Kai. He is humble, kind, and the only man I can be around without wanting to lose control. He sees beyond my flaws, and I want to make a good impression on him." Queen Adisa noticed the smile on Amani's face as she spoke about Kitche. "Bring him to the palace, Amani. I would like to meet him and get to know the man who has brought light into your life." The next day, Amani invited Kitche to the palace. When he arrived, the palace maids couldn't help but gossip about the handsome new friend of Princess Amani. "Have you seen him? He's quite a catch," one maid whispered to another. "Yes, and is so handsome. I wonder how they met," replied another. As Kai walked through the grand halls of the palace, he felt a mix of awe and nervousness. Queen Adisa greeted him warmly in the throne room. "Kitche, thank you for being a friend to Amani," the queen said, with a kind smile. "I would like to know more about you and the bond you share with my daughter." Kitche bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, it is an honor to meet you." Amani is a remarkable woman. Despite the challenges she faces, she remains kind and strong. "I admire her greatly." Queen Asa's eyes softened as she listened. "Where do you come from?" "Kitche, I am from Dunar, the neighboring kingdom." "Kitche," revealed Queen Asa's face lit up with recognition and fondness. "Tanari, that is my homeland. Tell me more about your family." Clay nodded. "I am the only child of my parent. My father passed away when I was young, Your Majesty, and I stay with my elderly mother, who has instilled strong values in me. She is my guiding light." Queen of Issa took an instant liking to Kitche, impressed by his humility and the values he upheld. "Your mother must be very proud of you. You are always welcome in this palace." Kitche, "Your friendship means a great deal to Amani and to us." As Amani and Kitche spent more time together, their bond deepened. Kitche's unwavering support and understanding gave Amani the strength to face her demons despite the ongoing rumors and Zara's schemes, and began to find solace in her friendship with Kitche. and the love of her mother Zara, overheard the palace maids gossiping about Princess Aman's handsome new friend. Their whispers filled the halls with excitement and admiration. "Have you seen him, Princess? Aman's friend Kitche is quite the sight," one maid said, her voice full of admiration. "Yes. And he's so kind-hearted too, it's no wonder the princess likes him so much," another replied. Zara's curiosity was piqued upon sighting Kai in the palace gardens. Her envy flared. He was indeed as handsome and manly as the maids had described. A plan formed in her mind, driven not by love, but by spite. She felt that Amani did not deserve such a remarkable man, determined to ruin her sister's happiness. Zara approached Kai, her demeanor seductive and her intentions hidden. She found him tending to a small patch of flowers, his presence calming and serene. "Kitche," Zara called softly, smiling as she approached. "I've heard so much about you. It's a pleasure to finally meet." Kai looked up, his eyes reflecting warmth, but also a guarded caution. "The pleasure is mine, Princess Zara. How can I assist you?" Zara stepped closer, her voice a sultry whisper. "I was hoping we could spend some time together. I've been so curious about you." Despite Zara's attempts to seduce him, Kitche remained respectful and distant. He could see through her facade and recognized the malice behind her charming exterior. "Princess Zara, I am honored by your attention," Kitche said firmly, "but my heart belongs to another, and I am not easily swayed." Zara's eyes narrowed, her frustration barely concealed. "You dare reject me? Do you know who I am?" Kai's expression remained calm. "I respect you, Princess, but I cannot betray my own principles." Realizing her advances were futile, Zara stormed away, her anger boiling over. She had hoped to create a scandal that would tarnish Aman's last shred of reputation, but Kay's integrity thwarted her plans. She wondered how someone could be attracted to her stepsister, who, despite her striking beauty, was a runner for several men. Meanwhile, the elders of Eldor convened a meeting with Queen Adisa to discuss Aman's growing unruly nature. They had heard the rumors and were deeply concerned about the kingdom's future. "Your Majesty," one elder began, his voice grave, "we are troubled by the reports of Princess Amani's behavior. Her actions bring dishonor to the royal family." Queen Adisa listened, intent and lie, her heart heavy with worry. "I understand your concerns, but Aman is struggling with forces beyond her control. We must find a way to help her." Another elder spoke up. "We fear that her behavior will weaken the kingdom's stability. We propose removing her as the crown princess to maintain our honor and traditions." Zara, who had been quietly listening, shadows, felt a surge of joy and contentment. Her plan to Amani was succeeding beyond her expectations. Queen Asa's eyes filled with sorrow. "I will consider your proposal, but know this: Aman is my daughter, and I will not abandon her. We must find a compassionate solution." As the meeting adjourned, Zara couldn't help but smile. She felt her grip on the narrative tightening. Once more, the elders' proposal to remove Aman as crown princess played perfectly into her hands. Back in her chambers, Aman felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. She knew the elders' request was not out of place, and she felt so bad putting her beloved mother in this position. But she seemed not to be able to help herself. The understanding she found in Kelly's friendship was her only solace. She knew he was the only person that does not look at her like her. That evening, Aman met Kitche under the tree, where they first became friends. She needed his calming presence more than ever. "Kitche, I feel like everything is falling apart," Amani confessed, her voice trembling. "The elders are considering removing me as crown princess. What if I'm truly unworthy?" Kitche took her hands in his touch gentle and reassuring. "Aman, you are worthy. The love and strength you carry within you are what truly matters. Do not let the scheme of others define your worth." Aman's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "Thank you, Kitche. Your faith in me gives me hope." As the moonlight bathed them in its gentle glow, Amani felt a renewed determination to fight for her place and prove her worth. She knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with Kay's support and her mother's unwavering love, she believed she could overcome the darkness and reclaim her rightful place in the kingdom. Later that night, Queen Adisa sat in her private chambers, her heart heavy with the elders' request to remove Aman as the crown princess. She knew that the palace was filled with wicked plots and deceit, and she felt increasingly isolated in her struggle to protect her daughter. The weight of her responsibilities pressed down on her, and she knew she needed guidance beyond what the palace advisors could provide. The following day, after the palace had fallen silent, Queen Adisa decided to pay a discreet visit to the great oracle. She dressed in simple, inconspicuous clothing and slipped out of the palace, ensuring that no one would notice her departure. Her journey to the oracle was shrouded in secrecy as she navigated the dense forest that lay between the palace and the oracle's dwelling. Upon reaching the oracle hut, Queen Adisa was treated by an ancient woman with wise, piercing Eyes, the oracle gestured for her to enter. Welcome, Queen Adisa, the oracle said in a voice that seemed to echo with the wisdom of ages. I know why you have come. Queen Adisa bowed her head respectfully. Great oracle, my daughter Amani is suffering a lot. She struggles with uncontrollable desires that threaten to destroy her. She cannot resist sleeping with men. She comes in contact with I seek your guidance to help her. The oracle nodded her gaze. Unwavering, a great darkness has indeed been cast upon your daughter. It is the work of jealousy and malice to lift this curse. Amani must find true love and acceptance both within herself and from another. The path will not be easy, but with courage and faith, she can overcome it. Queen Adisa listened intently, absorbing the oracle words. Who placed this curse on my daughter? She asked, her voice filled with urgency. The oracle's eyes darkened momentarily. The one who perpetrated the curse is no more. Dark presence still lurks around your daughter. In time all will become clear. You must be vigilant and protect her from those who wish her harm. Queen Adisa's heart itched with the weight of this knowledge. Is there anything else we can do to help her? The oracle nodded solemnly. To cleanse her body of the impurities caused by the curse, Amani must find a man who is untouched and sleep with him. This act, coupled with true love and acceptance, will help break the curse and restore her purity with renewed hope. Queen Adisa thanked the oracle and made her way back to the palace. She was determined to follow the oracle's advice and help Amani find the strength to overcome her struggles. The next morning, as the sun rose over Eldoria, Queen Adisa called Amani to her chambers. She looked at her daughter with a mixture of love and determination. Amani, I visited the oracle last night. Queen Adisa began. She confirmed that you are under curse, but there is hope. You must find true love and acceptance both within yourself and from another. Amani's eyes widened with a mixture of relief and apprehension. Mother, I feel so lost. How can I find this true love and acceptance when I am so burdened by this curse? Queen Adisa took her daughter's hands in hers. You are stronger than you realize, Amani. The love and strength you carry within you are what truly matters. Do not let the schemes of others define your worth. Amani nodded, feeling a renewed sense of hope. Thank you, Mother. I will do my best to follow the oracles and verse. There is something else that bothers me, Queen Adisa added. The oracle said to clean your body of all impurities alongside love and acceptance. You must sleep with a pure man who is untouched. Amani widened her eyes in shock. Mother, where will I find such a man? For I do not think there are any virgin men in Eldoria, as tradition has only been strict on a woman being a virgin and not a man. She lamented painfully. Don't worry, my dear. We will find a way, even if it means spending my entire fortune. Queen Adisa said calmly. Meanwhile, Zara, unaware of the queen's visit to the oracle, continued to plot and scheme. She relished the thought of Amani being removed, as the crown princess, believing it would pave the way for her own ascension to power. One evening, as Zara passed by the servants' quarters, she overheard a group of maids discussing the queen's discreet visit. Did you hear the queen visited the oracle last night? One maid whispered. Yes, she went to seek guidance for Princess Amani. Another replied, it seems the princess is under a curse. Zara's eyes widened with shock and fury. She had underestimated her stepmother's resolve and the length she would go to protect Amani. Determined to stay one step ahead, Zara knew she had to accelerate her plans. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test Amani's resilience and the strength of her newfound love. The true battle was just beginning, and the kingdom of Eldoria stood on the brink of a revelation that would change everything. Stay tuned for the part 2. Please subscribe.